great-granddaddy, straight out of hell. Devil was his name, killing his game, a Confederate soldier with a rebel yell. Mess with the devil, be laid to rest. Mess with the devil, be laid to rest. Now devil may care, he can see you from afar, so be prepared. He's got your life in his claw, you can say a prayer, but devil don't care. Now there are folks that just need killing, didn't want to do it, but it had to be done. Born with a rope burned round his neck, made his living as a running gun. Mess with the devil, be laid to rest. Mess with the devil, be laid to rest. The devil may care, he can see you from afar, so be prepared. He's got your life in his claw, you can say your prayer, but the devil don't care. Hatfields ain't the kind to be forgiven, although that might be the Christian way. While the children sing, old devil had to swing. Yes, the devil finally had his day, you might say. Mess with the devil, be laid to rest. Mess with the devil,
And that was the song Devil Don't Care from the terrific new album by country music artist MCMAINS called American Soul. And welcome to another edition of Conversations, where we'll be talking with MCMAINS today. We always bring you the best people from the worlds of pop culture, politics, and beyond. I'm your host, Carl Kozlowski, coming to you from the luxurious studios of Radio Titans in Los Angeles. And we're delighted to be having MCMAINS here today. He is a descendant of Devil Anse Hatfield of the legendary American folklore clan, the Hatfields, on his father's mother's side. He documents his objection to the sins of the Old South in Devil Don't Care on the album, and of his previous album, Guitar Love. The unrelenting music critic Leicester Bangs said, "The opening title track is truly a pan to 6 strings on a block of wood, to the Wilburys-esque Endless Sky. Fans of literate grown-up pop songs could do a lot worse." And so that was written for MP3 music. But not easily pinned down to a genre early on, MCMAINS has toured Europe as bassist with punk band The Generators, spent 2 years as vocalist for Earl Slick's band, spent another 2 as the lead guitarist with Englishman John Wick's The Records, and was involved with the art music ensemble DJ Monkey, co-producing 2 of their critically acclaimed albums. MCMAINS' Ribald, Everyone Has Been There, Fun, Don't Say Goodnight Tonight, reached the #1 spot as the most downloaded cut on the Airplay Express Top 40 chart this past December. Furthering his artist credentials, he can be heard with his recording of I Walk Alone in The Switch, starring Jennifer Aniston and Jason Bateman, great movie by the way, and with Sexy Sexy in the film Heartbreakers. So now, ladies and gentlemen, I bring you MCMAINS. How you doing?
Hey, doing good, Carl.
That's great, man. So thanks for joining us. Excited to be talking about your new music, and also you have a show actually coming up at the Coffee Gallery Backstage in Altadena, California on the 18th of February.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a great room. One of the, if anybody's in the LA area, check it out. If you haven't ever been there, it's an amazing space. But it is part you and part your brother's act. So you're also going to have ukulele artist Donna B.
Donna Barnes.
For you there.
Yeah, Donna Barnes is going to, she's
sorry.
like the hoster
Oh, great.
of the show, and she does wonderful songs on her ukulele. She's very entertaining. And then, I'll be there. My brothers are going to be in the band that night. Sometimes they can be with me, sometimes they can't. They're elderly.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And sometimes they let Jim out of the home, and sometimes they don't. But apparently I'm going to have both of them there that night, and it should be a lot of fun. Also, I got my good buddy Fabrizio Caviaro. He's going to be playing drums that night. He's from somewhere in Italy, if you couldn't guess. And Pasadena resident Charlie Peterson is going to be sitting in on steel guitar. We're really excited about that.
Oh, that's great. So then your latest album, before Guitar Love, actually, your previous music career was quite eclectic. So you were with the punk band The Generators, lead singer and guitarist Earl Slicks, NYC, co-creator of the outrageous theatrical DJ Monkey and lead guitarist in John Wake's Records. So what do you believe led you to express your music in so many different genres?
Well, I've always loved all kinds of music. As a youngster, I learned about classical music, taking piano lessons very early, and kind of fell in love with that first. And then later on, I heard just musicals. I liked the songs from the musicals. And later, as a teenager, I discovered rock and roll. My older brothers were already in a rock and roll band, and they were had records out when they were 16, 17 years old when we were living in Paris. My dad worked for the embassy, so we grew up overseas in, all kinds of far-flung places. But we spent most of the time in Paris. And when I came to the States, I started playing rock and roll because that's kind of that's what everybody was doing. Never really felt comfortable with the rock and roll thing. It's kind of an outlaw lifestyle if you're going to do it right. But I gave it a shot and ended up just kind of being helping other people with their music. If anybody needed this or that, I was usually, I was there. So, but now, these days I wrote a whole bunch of songs, and some of them with my pal Joey Alkis here, that's a great songwriter, and we wrote that Devil Don't Care song. He was actually telling me the story that he had seen some movie about Devil Hatfield.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm related to that guy. And he goes, no, you're not. And I'm like, excuse me, but my grandmother is Ellie Mae Hatfield, and that's Devil Ance's daughter. And we have family pictures, in the trunk of this stuff. And he goes, we got to write a song about this.
Yeah, no kidding.
Of course, that's his answer to anything. Is
Yeah.
We have to write the song about that. So he got it going, and I was like, oh, this is cool. So we got some grooves moving and finished up that song, Devil Don't Care. It's one of my favorites. We got a great mix out of Rich Mouser, who's an Altadena resident there. He's got the Mouse House up in Altadena making great records. And so you heard it. I hope you like it.
Oh, yeah. No, I thought it was great. And I got to ask, just before we move on into some other bigger questions, but do you have any idea, why did they name the guy Devil? I mean, was that a nickname, or did they really name him Devil?
Yeah, his name is Ance.
Oh, okay.
A-N-S-E,
Yeah.
which is a weird name, so nobody liked calling him Ance. He was a bad dude, Devil was, you didn't call him that to his face.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow, because I was like, boy, their parents are just setting themselves up for disappointment then. Well, actually, and I also wanted to ask about on the song that we heard, "Devil Don't Care." I love the guitar licks are very haunting. I mean,
Thanks.
Is that something you came up with, or was that Joey's touch? Or
No, I wrote the track. I played the guitar and the harmonica, and a little slide dobro part. My buddy Fab played drums on it, and Armin Schusch, who's a German cat that's living out here in Glendale, good buddy of mine, came over and laid down some bass tracks.
Okay. Well, before I get so then I wanted to also ask about when you were mentioning earlier about growing up overseas and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Did any of that influence your music? I mean, did you absorb touches from each of those areas, like living in Saigon, Paris, Vienna, that you think apply today even? Or
I would say yes. Not really Saigon, because I was kind of a baby. I was like 6 months old when we moved there.
Yeah.
Then we went to Vienna for a few years, and that's when music was. My brother started playing the piano, and I would imitate whatever they were doing. So I started just banging on the piano there in Vienna, and then we got to Paris, and I got to take these lessons from this wonderful lady who was Madame Friedensen, who she was a protege of Boulanger, Nadia Boulanger, who's the great French music teacher that all the people like Bernstein and everybody went to study with her. And one of her best students ended up being my piano teacher just out of good luck. You know, I would go by myself over to the left bank and take my lesson, and I just loved it. You know, it wasn't a chore for me. It was something I looked forward to.
Okay, cool. So, how do you find inspiration for the music? I mean, is there somewhere deep within you that the inspiration comes from? Because, I mean, you know, some say that that's when we're most connected to our true selves. Like, for example, you know, some of the best songs are written in minutes. So, what's your daily process musically?
Well, you know, that sudden burst of inspiration, that takes seconds or, you know, a minute. You know, you get this great idea for the song, you know, whether it's the title or the first line or the chorus, whatever that flash is, that's awesome. But if you really want a good song, you're going to have to spend some time fleshing it out, coming up with a good intro, you know, with a proper ending, and, you know, that's when the craft of the thing comes in. You know, there's the inspiration, and then there's the craft, and you can tell the artists that are only good at one of those things. You know, some people are great craftsmen, some people have brilliant ideas, but they can't, you know, conclude them or something. So that's the trick, man, and it takes time. So songs, I don't write songs quickly. It could take weeks, months. You know, I might change a line at the last minute before I've got to sing the thing for real, you know. So the song's never really finished until it's on the radio. Okay.
Well, speaking of great songs, we're going to play another one of your new tunes from American Soul now. This is Since I Started Loving You.
All right. I used to be so crazy, always tempting fate. But now I walk a straight line, hope it's not too late to make some major changes. That's what I'm going through since I started loving you. Must be something magic, I feel it every time, like some kind of master plan beyond the scope of mortal man. There's one thing that's clear to me as writing in the sky: I'll love you till I die. Here's my secret lullaby, darling, close your eyes, and I'll whisper that I love you, and I'll see you in my dreams. You're the answer to my prayers, every dream is coming true since I started loving you. 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 Loving you.
And that was Since I Started Loving You by MCMAINS from his terrific new album, American Soul. So, one